Hey guys, welcome back to the Community Cares Podcast. I'm Dave. I'm the Executive Director here at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet.
And I'm Chaplain Chaz Blackburn, and I have the honor of being the president of Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. And today we have, I always say a really special guest, but a really inspirational guest who I actually met through a mutual friend, Lou, which he's a really good friend of yours. You just said you've known him since you were 26?
21.
21? That's
Yeah.
amazing. He's a great guy. But we did a tour of your facility a few years ago, I think, and just an amazing organization. So why don't you introduce yourself and just tell us who you're representing today?
Great. Thank you. Thank you both for having me. I'm excited to be here to talk. I am Mary Hutchinson. I am the Chief Executive Officer at STEP2. And STEP2 is a private, local, nonprofit organization founded here in Reno back in 1986.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's beautiful.
We're getting ready. Next year will be our 40th anniversary. And we're a long-term substance use disorder treatment program for women. Most of the women that come to Step 2 have battled lifelong either mental health, domestic violence, years and years of substance use. Most of our women are moms. Many of those have had their kids removed from them over the years, and they're working to get their kids back, to build a clean and sober life, to learn the life skills to support themselves and their family, and to learn how to live successfully in our community.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Let's get into our sponsors. Chaz, do you want to join me on that? You want to talk about Shelley's Hardware? Who's Shelley's Hardware?
Let you do the honors. It's
No, help me out.
You
Help me
cut
out,
me
man.
off. I was going to talk about hope, and then you started going into it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say that we toured the facility. I was blown away, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. But just the hope and dignity that you give, that's one of our sayings is hope and dignity.
Yeah.
And you guys definitely give that and give them the foundation to live their best life for them and their families. And so I'm really excited about this interview, but we'll get into that. So now you can talk about the sponsors.
Come on, man. I read the sponsors every week. You got to help me out.
Oh,
You got this. You want to do Spheron?
no, you
It's
go
right
ahead.
now.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
It's
All
a
right,
mouth-
Shelley.
It's a mouthful, which I'm so grateful for, and I hope the list keeps getting longer and longer and longer for you.
You know, it's been awesome. These people that have decided to step up and support the Community Cares Podcast and Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. Without these sponsors, we don't exist. And you know, also we have that you, the individual listener, the donor that makes this happen. I mean, if no one's listening to us, why would we do this, right?
Absolutely.
You know, it's been such a blessing. So we want to say a huge thank you to Shelley's Hardware. Shelley's Hardware is a local hardware store here right next to us, our neighbors, and they're the oldest running hardware store in the area.
They're so cool, and they used to be an airplane hanger. If you didn't know that, and they actually have these really cool shirts with the airplane hanger on it, and really good little knickknacks of gifts like around Christmas time. And you want to support local, so I encourage you to go down there. And then our friend over there, he's actually a lead singer in a band, right? Does he do guitar and lead sing?
Yeah, I mean, I think they mix it up in their band, but yeah, I think he does that.
And they're going to be at one of our events coming up.
Yeah, they are. They're going to help us out and help us raise some funds at our Cars That Care event. In Shelley's Hardware, you really can find all sorts of different things you need, and one of the things that Hunter Rand said when he was on our show, he was saying that he was able to just get that very specific bolt, right? Where he couldn't get that at Home Depot. He couldn't get it at Lowe's, but he was able to get those very specific things instead of having to buy a package with all these random bolts and stuff in it. So when you really need those specific items, definitely check out Shelley's Hardware. The next one we wanted to highlight, our next sponsor is Spheron Consulting. As a local experts in recruitment, Spheron understands the unique needs of Northern Nevada job market. They connect qualified candidates with leading companies, ensuring the right fit every time. Whether you need administrative support, light industrial staff, or professional hires, Spheron takes the stress out of staffing. Call or text Spheron today to find out more. 775-829-8367. Thank you, Brian. We really appreciate your guys' organization, what you guys are doing in the community, connecting those businesses to staff.
And they have some great jobs on there, too, if you're seeking a job.
Yeah, and thank you for supporting the Community Cares podcast. The last sponsor is our newest sponsor, which is Relentless Business Mastery. It is a Reno-based digital marketing agency specializing in services such as local SEO, web development, pay-per-click advertising, social media management, and business consulting. They focus on helping small businesses and entrepreneurs in the Reno-Sparks area enhance their online presence and attract more customers. The agency is led by Jason Messick and has received recognition for its impact on local businesses, particularly through tailored digital strategies and hands-on support. So one of the things, they help us out a lot. They are a great local business, and all of our sponsors are local. That's one of the things we always want to try to make sure is we are trying to connect with local people that we actually utilize and we care about and that we use, right?
And the community for the community, right?
Absolutely. We're not about just trying to get these sponsors on to say, hey, thanks for giving us a buck and we're going to promote you. This is about how we're able to make this community a better place. And Jason, I'll tell you what, he brings in a binder. He goes through very specifically what your website needs, your Google ad space needs, all your different things, and he's really good at it. And he's an expert. So thank you, Jason, for believing in our cause and supporting us.
Definitely takes a village. We're better together and stronger united, and we all have to come together and work together. So without further ado, let's hear more about Step 2 and the services you guys offer, and a little bit more about the history of how you guys actually got started in 1987?
86.
86,
Yes.
sorry.
Our origin story is really special, actually. We were founded back in 1986 by a local businesswoman in Reno. She was a professional woman, and she had a secretary at the time who was a single mom battling alcoholism. And at that time, back in 1986, if you wanted to go to treatment and you didn't have family support or help for your kids, your only option was to turn your kids over as wards of the state to go to treatment. And her boss at the time said, there has to be a better way. Women should not have to choose between being a mom and receiving treatment.
Right.
And the concept of Step 2 was founded on that women should get to do both.
Yeah.
So the woman had a friend with a clinical background. They started a little outpatient clinic. That's how Step 2 got its start here in the community. We started very small. And this last fall or last winter, we admitted our 5,000th woman into treatment on our campus. So
that impact is incredible.
yeah, not just the women, but then you figure those women are moms and sisters and daughters and granddaughters and grandmothers. And so the impact in our community has been huge. But to date now we've brought in about 5,200 women, and it's just really special. These women are able to live on our campus, receive treatment for their substance use disorder, but also learn life skills, nutrition classes, finance classes, parenting classes. Really, we're working to help her be successful and productive in our community when she's ready to spread her wings and leave our campus.
It's that just changes generation after generation. I mean, that is really incredible.
Our stated mission is to break the cycle of addiction and violence in families, because absolutely those things tend to be generational. Right. 75% of the women that come to Step 2 on average come from a family history of substance use. So most of our women grew up in homes where mom or dad battled addiction, and along with addiction does come domestic violence and food insecurity and poverty and often homelessness or home insecurity. And so we're really looking at all aspects of these women's lives when they move onto our campus.
It's not just a Band-Aid fix. I mean, it's a long-term fix if they choose that, to really have those skills and that foundation, like you said. So that's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I love what you guys are doing and really helping the long-term goal, right? You're helping them with their long-term goals.
Yeah, not to knock a 28-day treatment program, because you can learn some good skills in 28 days, at a kind of traditional rehab program. But, when I say 75% of our women come from a family history of domestic violence, it might be mom or dad that they're going to have to cut out of their life if they're going to stay clean and sober. And you don't get there from a therapeutic standpoint in 28 days. Step 2 is a long-term program. Our residential program is 2 to 3 months. Most women live in our residential facility on our campus for 2 to 3 months. And then we have 25 cottages on our campus.
And they're beautiful.
They are. They're
so
really
beautiful.
cute. The local home builders and the Builders Association of Northern Nevada has recently remodeled all of them. So they're these cute little cottages.
Wow.
We have 25 of them, and they're 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms in size because a woman and her kids will live there as a family. And most of those women and their kids stay on that part of the campus for another 9 months to a year.
Wow.
So all told, most women are with us, and it's very individualized, and there's a lot of options to it, but most women are on our campus for about a year on average. And so that time gives them the ability to make lasting and impactful change for themselves and their children.
I know it's really hard to quantify the data, but do you have any generalized stats or statistics of the success rate for those women that are in your program?
It's hard to capture the long term, right? Once a woman successfully completes our program and moves off campus, we do have an alumni program and we keep in contact with them as best we can, but it's hard to know, 5 years down the road because the anonymity part of going into treatment. But I will say for women who come onto our campus and if they complete residential program and move into one of the cottage, more than 50%.
That is incredible.
Yeah, more than 50% will eventually complete the program clean and sober, gainfully employed, because that is a big part of our program, and also reunified with their children.
The love and support you guys provide through all the wraparound services, I mean, that speaks for itself, those numbers.
Well, and that's where the change happens. It's the wraparound services and taking the time and energy to really treat each woman as an individual.
And getting to the root causes, right? And not just the face value of what's going on, but that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got a deep question for her on a personal level.
Well, no, I wanted to ask kind of what really inspires you? Like, is there a story? Because it's hard. Doing nonprofit work is hard. So
it is.
Sometimes I'll grasp I'll remember, maybe I'll watch an old video we had or something that kind of inspires me to get that fire going, right? And because it can be very complicated to try to fundraise, to try to
wear all the hats, yeah,
to try to help make sure that lady that you mentioned, her, I like how you just said her, you really individualized how you said that. So what inspires you to help her?
That's a great question. And I don't think I shared this, but I've actually been at Step 2 for 14 years, which is a lifetime in the nonprofit work. Thanks. I stumbled into being at Step 2, I will say very honestly. Our mutual friend Lou, his wife, was president of the board 14 years ago. I am a CPA, so I have a financial and corporate background, which gives me no business sitting in this chair with you guys, except I absolutely fell in love with Step 2 14 years ago. I had one of my best friends from college. She was the president of the board. I was ready to go back to work. My kids were in elementary school full time. So I was ready to go back to work. And just the thought of going into corporate America just was killing me. So I reached out to my small network and said, I really want to go to work and do something meaningful. If I'm going to be away from my kids and they're going to maybe do an after school program a few days a week, I want it to matter. Yeah. And so, again, my best friend from college was president of the board, and she said, Step 2 needs a chief financial officer. And I was like, well, that's perfect. I was familiar with Step 2 because I'd gone to the fundraising events with her over the years, and I thought, what better? I mean, I'm so inspired by women who want to make change for themselves and their children. So I came in actually as the chief financial officer 14 years ago. And my first year there at Step 2, the chief operating officer left. And I convinced the longtime CEO at the time to let me do both, because although financial is my background, operations is my passion. And the thought of getting to mentor and manage this largely female staff was just really exciting to me. So I'm taking the long way to answer your question.
No, it's great.
But So 14 years ago, I came in as the CFO and COO, and then 7 years ago, when the longtime CEO left, I moved into the CEO role. So I have been the last 7 years as the CEO at Step2. But the very first sort of aha, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be and I'll never do anything else moment was soon after I started at Step2. Each September, in honor of National Recovery Month, we do a large barbecue on our campus, and it's a graduation ceremony of sorts. We invite back every woman who completed treatment at Step2 in the 12 months prior and their families, and then we also invite all of our alumni and their families to come for a huge barbecue, and it is without a doubt our favorite day of the year. We get to see all these women come back into our lives. But I'll never forget, I'd only worked at Step2 for 2 months when we had our first recovery barbecue. And I brought my own children who had not been to my campus yet. And I brought them. And an alumni gets up and shares her story at the barbecue. And we had a woman sharing her story, and unscripted, her 4-year-old son came up, took the microphone from his mom, and started crying and said, "Thank you for saving my mom. Wow. I have my mom back." And I looked over at my kids who at the time were, I think, 5 and 8 or 6 and 9, and tears just streaming down their face, and they were so proud that this is where I worked, and I was so proud that this is where I was bringing my kids.
That's so cool.
And they got to see, my kids grew up in not that environment, and so relatively privileged lives in comparison, and to see their emotion and to see them connect with that was just the coolest thing. And I was crying too to listen to this kid. I'd only worked at Step2 for 2 months, and that was the first time it sort of hit me over the head just how incredibly impactful this is for the children of our women as well.
Beautiful.
Wow. Well, I mean, you found your calling, and I wonder what impact that will have throughout your children's lives. Remembering that.
It changed who they were as kids. It's changed how I was as a mom, how I see the world, how I treat people I don't know, all my preconceived notions. It's really interesting when you have no real background exposure to something in the nonprofit world, and then you join it and you realize there's so much out there that we haven't seen, so we don't understand, so we judge.
You know what? Thank you for answering the call. We're definitely lucky to have you in the community. We have a cliche saying that's be the change that you want to see in the world, and you're being that change. So thank you. I mean, you stuck with it for 14 years in the nonprofit world. That's like 30 years.
It is, especially being the person in charge of the finances too. It's very stressful. I didn't backfill my CFO role when I took CEO, so I technically am both. So
wow, yeah, no, it's complicated, the whole nonprofit world, and so finding that inspiration, like you just talked about, it's so important. There are days where I'm hitting my head against the wall, just like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this?
I find when I'm in my most stressful days, and I will say I'm just completing our annual budget, so this has not been my,
thank
favorite.
You for showing up today.
But you know what I did today? I went and taught a group with the women, and that is the very best way to center me and bring me back to my why.
That's powerful.
On the stressful days, I will just throw it out to the staff and say, hey, I'd like to take over someone's group today. I need some time with the women, because that's when I am reminded the amazing work that we're doing, and it takes you away from the budget for a minute.
Yeah, and some of the days when I'm feeling that way too, I'll do the same thing. I'll go out, I'll volunteer on the floor, and I'll give away clothes, and I'll hang up some clothes and do those things that I don't always get to do.
Yep.
Because I'm normally, I'm writing a grant, I'm trying to fundraise or do other things and talk to donors, those kinds of things, setting up for the next fundraiser, but just giving away a piece of clothing, giving away that blanket that's a lifeline for someone. It is so impactful. Teaching a group is so impactful.
It reconnects me with my why I'm here, and some days that's necessary. As you can imagine, we have some horrible days on our campus. We have women who choose to leave treatment, and we have to call Child Protective Services and have kids removed, or we've certainly had women die over the years as well, alumni in the program who go on and relapse. And so I always say, and I often say this to the staff, like, we got to celebrate the wins, because, man, that makes those hard days just a little bit easier.
Can I ask what you guys do to support the staff and each other for self-care?
We definitely do team building. So we do a morning huddle every single morning. The entire staff meets at 8:30 in the morning, and it's meant to make sure we're all on the same page, but it's also meant to keep us all very connected. Because, in an organization like Step 2, we have a staff of 30. We can silo, right? We have the fundraising and kind of donor management team, and we have the administrative staff, and we have the advocate staff that are with the clients, and then we have the clinical team. And so it's really important that we all meet every day together. And, we share what's going on in our life, in our world, and we support each other. The clinical team, most of them all have lunch together with the administrative team in the kitchen every day at the lunch hour. We really do everything we can to build that community. We do quarterly all staff meetings with the same spirit. And then we like to do offsite team building.
That's
We
awesome.
just planned a really fun one for the staff. On the off chance they're listening, I might not say what it is, but it's happening next month. Actually, I'll say we are going out in a catamaran in Lake Tahoe as a
cool.
team. So we try and get away from the office some too, and connect as humans and as friends, because the staff at Step 2, we have a lot of longevity on the team, and so
That says a lot.
we've helped each other raise kids, and we've been through deaths and families and divorces and marriages and new babies born and all the things. And so it's important to remember, yes, we're coworkers, but we're humans. We all have the same cause at heart.
It's a family.
We really are. It's been just the most, I always say it's been the honor of my career to lead this team, and I mean it. They
I
are
can
fantastic.
feel when you say that, you mean it.
I do mean it. And my team knows it. We do our annual gala each year, and the Step 2 staff comes and is the volunteers that runs the live auction. And so
that's fun.
I always shout out the staff and talk a little bit about them and make them get applause. And more years than not, I choke up on stage talking about them because they are phenomenal.
That's amazing. Well, one year we did a team building and it was axe throwing, and that was pretty questionable.
Yeah.
That was
I have
questionable.
done that actually.
actually really
Yeah,
fun.
it is fun.
It is. Let me ask you. Future and vision for Step 2. Well, what's the future? Is there a big goal you guys are trying to get after right now?
We've had moving kind of goals, and the beauty of goals is you achieve that goal and then you start setting the next one. So we really are, our focus currently and kind of in the next few, I would say, months to the year, we meet as a team and decide that we're really focusing on our pregnant and postnatal population right now. Historically, those women are the last to access treatment because of the shame that is involved with admitting that you're using while pregnant. And about approximately 18% of the women that come to Step 2 come pregnant, but we know the need in our community is larger. So we're working with the local medical facilities and hospitals right now.
Wow.
We got funded by a grant by Renown to really focus on outreach on that population. So this year we're really focusing on those pregnant women and those women with newborns, because that's where use is often identified. But again, the shame of accessing treatment. So we're really trying to take the stigma out of that population coming into treatment. And then secondarily, our overarching, I will say, over the last year or two and going forward, we're really trying to bolster our mental health team on our campus, because all of our women are diagnosed with substance use disorder, but many of them, more than half, have a co-occurring mental health disorder, which is so common with substance use disorder. And that's a little more complex than that can be. And so we've been building our mental health team with some trauma therapists and really trying to attack from all angles, because we know while women are on our campus, if they don't really dig into some of those past traumas, they will likely relapse and end up back with us.
And grief and trauma are two of the most overlooked roots of a lot of
Absolutely.
those issues, and it's not talked about a lot, or the resources are not provided a lot of the time. So
Absolutely. And we acknowledge with our women and many of their childhoods, there's a lot of grief and trauma, and we got to dig in while they're on our campus and get to that. And so while we have our licensed substance use counselors, the whole team, we're really bolstering our mental health side as well.
Okay.
that's great.
That's a great vision.
Can I ask? I have a question. So
Yeah.
So are you guys shooting for? Because to the best of my knowledge, there's no actual detox center where pregnant women can detox at the same time as keeping their child, correct?
Correct. And we do not do detox on our campus. We're not licensed for detox. And sadly, the way the world's moved into the Medicaid model, we're really in Reno, a lot of our detox programs have closed their doors.
Right. Well, even some of them that we're trying to open
Yep.
aren't able to now.
It's just not possible from a funding stream standpoint. So we're trying to bring these women in. It used to be 100%. You had to test clean in order to enroll at step 2. And we've had to loosen that. I mean, we're not licensed for detox, so we definitely are clear that we're not allowing women to medically detox on our campus. But, we have medical personnel that are able to determine if she's able to stay on our campus while the last of it works her way out of their system.
That's really important with where Medicaid's going, like you said, in the funding.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
We've just had to be more flexible.
Yeah, flexible and adaptable to change.
We do have an awesome medical director from Renown who recently, Step 2 partnered with Renown and UNR's med school. He works at both of them, and he's come on as our medical director, and
That's
he
incredible.
is fantastic. And we have him 8 hours a week, so
Wonderful.
he is able to meet individually with our women and really assess their needs and provide medical services as well.
That's amazing. How can people donate to Step 2?
All the ways.
All, I like that, all the ways.
All the ways. I always send people to our website, to learn more information about Step 2 and ways to get involved, whether they want to donate financially. Of course, we always accept that. But I don't think I mentioned, when the women move into our cottages, we have the 25 cottages on our campus. They're fully furnished. Pots, pans, beds, couches, TV, everything she and her kids need are in that cottage, and that is all community donations. And then when a woman completes the program and she's ready to move out of the cottage, she takes that whole house with her. So she takes the pots, the pans, the bed, the couch,
I didn't know
the
that.
TV.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
That's cool.
They take that. She and her kids take all of that. First of all, it's theirs and they've earned it. And also, what a cost prohibitive thing to move out and purchase all that stuff. So they take all that. And so then when we get the cottage ready for the next family, we fill it all back up with all of those things. So we rely heavily on the community for those
I
donations.
think that helps with the relapse too, in the sense of, can you imagine being a mom, graduating and going into the apartment like I did it with your child, and then not having any furniture?
Have nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's impactful for the families to get all that stuff, and they've earned it, and it's theirs. It's their comfort. When those kids are getting ready to leave campus with mom, they don't know if mom's clean because she's had to be, because she's living on our campus, or if she really is going to stay clean. It's scary for them because a lot of these kids, especially the older ones, have seen relapse, and they've seen mom access treatment. So as many comforts as we can send them with when they leave our campus. And so
It's awesome.
we go through a lot of housewares and those items for sure. And then also many of the women come to Step 2 fleeing a violent situation at home. So they come with nothing but the clothes on their back. So like your guys' beautiful setup out there, we also have a boutique. We call it the Repeat Boutique because it's all community donations like your guys'. And a woman's able to get, clothes and shoes and her basic
toys,
needs.
right, for the
and
kids?
toys, yep. So we fill those cottages with toys when those kids
love
are
that.
moving in. And then we keep brand new toys on campus, and we look to the community for those donations so that when a kid on campus has a birthday, and if mom's not working yet, she can go pick out birthday presents for her kiddos.
What a taste of dignity for the mom to be able to provide that. I love that. That's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah. So our website houses all of our information on how to get involved if you want to volunteer, how to make monetary donations, what items are our high needs. We keep an updated list every week of our high need housewares, what we're needing the most. And we keep a very active Amazon wish list as well. If people wanted to purchase something that we need for our cottages or the program from Amazon and just have it shipped directly to us.
Is it 18 and above?
It is.
For age of
18
range?
and
Okay,
older,
perfect.
yep.
Would let's say someone's listening to this and they're struggling, they're deciding, should I reach out to Step 2? Should I reach out for help? I mean, what would you tell someone that's at their lowest of low, that they need something to change, and they're listening to this right now? What would you say to them?
You're worth the step. Because that's all it is. We welcome these women with open arms when they walk through our door, and I think that I think people are afraid to access treatment because they're worried about shame and stigmas and those things. And that just does not exist on our campus. You're worth the step. Our website, you can just click the contact us or get information on treatment button. It literally emails it to my email box.
Wow.
And I check my email, I will say all times of the day, and often when I'm wide awake in the middle of the night, we get right back to those women and get them in. The first step is coming in for an assessment, and that's just assessing what level of treatment. There are women that come to step 2 that never live on our campus. Maybe she has stable housing in the community. Maybe she's holding a job. Maybe she's living life somewhat successfully, but she could still be battling substance use disorder.
Absolutely.
We see that commonly with alcohol.
Yeah.
And so we offer outpatient services for those women. Some women never live on our campus. I will say the majority of the women that come to Step 2 don't have stable housing. So they do come and start in our residential facility. But you don't have to live on our campus. You can come for outpatient services. So it's all the same. We bring a woman in for an assessment. We get her right into treatment, whatever level she needs. She just has to be the one that takes that first step. And it is so worth it.
So, and I know this, the answer is probably, I'm going to ask a question, and I'm sure the answer to this question is pretty broad. But in your opinion, what do you think causes a lot of these disparities, women feeling like they have to turn to substance abuse and those kinds of things?
Well, I will say from experience with the women that come to Step 2, so many of it is untreated mental health disorders. And so women that just don't feel quite right and are never comfortable in their skin, lots of anxiety and depression, or maybe some level of PTSD, it's self-medicating is how many women start using, and then it becomes an addiction. A lot of the women that we see were given drugs or alcohol by their own parents when they were preteens and teens.
Interesting. Yeah.
I cannot tell you how many women I met whose story started at age 13 and meth with her own father. That is way more common than you would imagine. And so I will say when I started at Step 2, I don't know what my preconceived notions were, but I don't know if I thought people choose, to use and become addicts, but as soon as I heard a 13-year-old girl who was given meth by her dad, that is not a choice.
Ooh.
Gosh.
Yeah. So for many of our women, their use dates back into their preteens and early teen years.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But not uncommon.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, so if you're listening to this and you need help, reach out. Like,
Just take that
Absolutely.
step.
take that step. Have a conversation. If you need support from a loved one or something, maybe that loved one is trying to push you. Maybe you just need that one little push. Well, this podcast could be that push for you if you're listening to this.
And do it for yourself. I mean, we are all about women's empowerment on our Step 2 campus. Women come to us broken by almost every sense of that word. And we are a staff of largely women, although we have some fantastic men on our campus. And we just want to wrap our arms around these women and build them up and show them that they're worth it. They deserve this life in recovery. And I run our alumni Facebook. We have a private Facebook page. So these thousands of women that have left treatment
that's
since
so
I've
cool.
been there, I get to see them just
powerful.
kicking butt in our community and just living life on their terms, clean and sober with their kids, soccer moms,
That
football
keeps
practice.
you going right there, too.
Yeah, 100%. I jump on that page every time I'm having a bad day. But I know that it's worth it, and I know it works. And so I know it's easy for me to sit here in this chair and say, make that call, take that step. But I see the downstream of these changed lives for these women and for their kids. We are breaking the cycle of addiction and violence in these families. And it's up to this woman to call and start that to break the cycle.
It's scary. It's a scary
It is.
thing. Like, to ask for help is hard. It's
It is.
not easy.
Or in an abusive relationship, I think about
Yep.
that. I mean, feeling helpless and scared, and I can't even imagine not having any control over any kind of financial well-being. What do you do?
Well, and that's it. Many women in these violent situations that come to us, they have been controlled. And so this is something she gets to come and do and live anonymously on our campus in a safe environment and change her life.
It's incredible. What events do you guys have? You have an amazing organization, obviously. How can people, what events can they come and support
Thanks.
you?
Well, we actually have an event this Saturday, randomly, our poker tournament. This is our third annual poker tournament. And we weren't sure what we were getting into doing a poker tournament, but I will tell you, it is a blast. It is a really fun night, and it's very successful. It's a great way for us to raise money. So timeline of our events, we do poker in the end of August. We have our largest fundraiser of the year, which is a substantial part of our annual budget, and that's our Jingle and Mingle Gala.
Okay.
And that's the first Friday of December every year. It's a kind of fancy fun event.
Jingle and mingle.
Jingle
I
and
like
mingle.
it.
Yeah. It's a holiday themed. It's because it's the first Friday of December, and it's the silent auction, live auction, 400 to 500 people dinner. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great way. I invite an alumni up on stage each year to share her story. There's never a dry eye on the house. It's very impactful. You can learn more about that on our website. And then our other large fundraiser we do in May each year. We have an annual golf tournament.
Beautiful.
And it's super fun as well. So our website houses the information on all of those events, whether you want to come to the event as a guest or a volunteer. We take volunteers for those events as well.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much for being here. Chaz, your final thoughts.
I just want to thank you for all the work that you do and your team, and it really is making a huge difference. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's it?
That's it. I mean,
You don't have a final thought?
That's my final thought.
I mean, I get so much meat normally from what you say, from your final thoughts, man.
There's not really much to say, right? I mean,
I agree.
They're change makers, and I have relatives that I wish I had known about this that I didn't back then when they were really struggling. This could have changed my family's life. So. I'm glad that that's out there and a resource for the community, especially in Northern Nevada, where sometimes we have, we struggle with certain gap areas of coverage. I did want to ask, do you guys get a lot of people from the rules, or is it?
We do. Okay. Yep. We'll take people from all over. We get some women from the Las Vegas area. We certainly get Elko, Ely, Winnemucca. We take women from all over. We get women from California too. So It's not just for Nevada.
Yeah.
We'll take them from anywhere.
But especially in the rules, though, there's lack of resources. So if you're listening out there and you're in the rules and you're even more scared or feeling isolated, you have a place to go.
Yeah.
Reach out to STEP2. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Mary, for being here and just being a part of the show and sharing with us what you're doing in the community and why. Because there's so many different nonprofits, organizations, and so I love having you and other guests on here where we're able to have those deeper conversations of why are you doing what you're doing and how it's making that deeper impact. Every week, Chaz and I learn something. We always do. Every week we take something new from it. So thank you so much for being here.
You bet. Thank you guys for having me. A huge part of what we need to do in our community is the outreach. Mm-hmm. We don't go 2 weeks without a woman walking through our doors saying, I wish I knew about step 2 before I got arrested, before I had my kids removed. And so my job is never done, but I appreciate you guys in giving me the opportunity to come on, because a listener maybe needs help or has a sister or a mom or a coworker or a friend who needs help. And it takes our whole community to do the outreach.
Yes, it does.
To reach every corner of the community to tell these women about step 2. So thank you guys for what you're doing, forwarding all these missions of these nonprofits.
Yeah, no.
And to anybody out there, if you can't financially contribute to either organization or even volunteer your time, just sharing this podcast for awareness, like Mary said, is super important to get the word out.
Absolutely.
Hey, thank you, the listener, for listening. Thank you for being a part of what we're doing in the community. There is no Good Shepherds without you. So there's no Community Cares podcast without you. If you're not listening, why are we doing this, Chaz?
Just to make fun of me?
Jeez, buddy. Hey, guys, thank you so much for listening. We help over 800 people a month, no matter what. We're asking you to come alongside and help one. All right, guys, thank you. We'll see you next week.
Thank you so much.